Hello, welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome back to the Swedish Crown. And for today's historical fact, you'll have to wait until the end of the episode. But I'm going to get right into it today. We are in debt. We have 100 prestige because I just finalized my marriage with my wife, who I only realized we were betrothed to, despite being 20 years of age. But with that done, we are in debt slightly. And I noticed something while I was doing a little bit off camera stuff, just preparing myself for the video. We have these two really three counts, who are in my prison. And two of them holds Ireland and another duchy that I very much would like to get my hands on. Okay, you hold Norland, and you hold... Oh, you're just a court. Tell you what, I will ransom you off, because it will get me out of debts, but you hold Norland, and I really don't care for getting Norland that much. What I do care for is getting you to convert to Christianity. Sure, you'll lose opinion on me, but you'll be out of prison. And then... Oh, I've also sort of gotten a hook off of him. You've already accepted. Okay. So, that's that gone. But... there is you, Count Olaf of Ireland. I could release you as a... I could just release you. Get a weak hook on you. So that way when I can 1079 in 7 years? Have you help murder Eric III? Or even his son, although that would be more difficult. Because I need to get Upland, Gisrikaland and Ireland as my personal domain, because just having Södermanland is hurting a lot. And again, apologize to all my Swedish listeners out there for butchering the names of these counties. I'm still very much learning. And shout out to all the Norwegians out there that also follow the channel. You guys are awesome. You're both awesome. We'll talk about the Danish later, who are already going into the Baltic. Preview for later, but for now, let's just get everything going. So, you are free. You got me gold, so that is now out of debt. The army is rebuilding itself. You like me again, so that's even more money. And claim of convenience. My wife, Queen Bona, eagerly brings me a man before me. My king, allow me to introduce you to Vagan. Claim it to the county of... that Norwegian county there. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because... oh boy. Vagan bows before me, says, "It is an honor, my lord." Sally... I'm going to try it. I gotta try it. Nummer de Eofjolika will most likely remain out of my grasp without a beneficiary on my side. Might just be able to help you with that. Good luck with that. Or... I really don't want to try and fight Harold Hardrada. Because you were supposed to have died at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, but you're still strong, so I'd rather not try to fight you. Just... best of luck, man. best of luck. Speaking of, how is William doing? He actually owns all of Wessex. And one count in Normandy, but he's doing pretty well. How's the culture look? Wow, English is actually spreading quicker than I thought. Good on you, man. Good on you. Oh, there's still a little bit of Norse here in Ireland. Yep. Little history fact. Normally in CK3, I would use Ireland as a little bit of a piggy bank for raiding, because it's very simple to just go and beat up all these small Irish counts. And the Vikings, the raiders, thought the same, but they used Dublin as a staging ground, both for their raids and also for trade. In fact, there was a Viking era sword found in a drainage pipe in Ireland a while ago. Oh, this was several years ago, but they use Dublin as a staging and trading ground. And you have a faction against me, which is starting to build up. Oddly enough, I'm not worried about that. Because if I can get... Who are my allies? I have no allies because I have no children. I can fix that, but I'm actually not that scared of this because you're pretty weak. You're fairly strong. And really, you're all slowly converting. I don't want to ransom you yet. I want to keep you. You, I very much would like to try and convert peacefully. Which is why I'm trying to sway you. Wrong person to try and sway, honey. Court politics. You're awful. Why are you on the council? Right, we'll just switch you to a realm. Although, if I remove you off the council, you would get angry. But you are a decent steward, so we'll just swap you around. That way I can get a little bit of a boost. Try and get that done. Can I put someone else? You're Can't really do that. Okay, we'll just leave that for now and take a look at the spends. Mercy for the mercenaries. The bustling of an inn, a fine cider, and a calm evening after a long day of training. My tanker is knocked out of my hand by a mercenary reeling from a blow, and all hope of relaxation drains away into the floor along with my cider. Please, my lord, the innkeeper begs. Olaf's thugs have been drinking me dry without paying for days, and their fighting is scaring the staff and guests. I will pay for your drinks if you leave at once. Or, they are too drunk to be a real threat. This will be over quickly. I gain dread, but I also gain expunge bandits and martial lifestyle perk. I could also do that. 50. Although ruling by dread is pretty bad in the long term, I really do need every kind of boost I can get for the time being. Speaking of, let's see here. You are afraid of me, so you really won't do anything against me. Which means you should be leaving that faction soon. You can't join. I am still going to try to make you happy with me. I'm going to switch to you. I still need you to find hooks. Because if I can stop you, or at the very least stop you, I can have this duchy in no time at all. So let's see what I can do up here. Declare a holy war. No one's willing to join, but I could start going up to the Sami region. You're Christian, so I would have to get claims off of you. I could try and push into Finland, but you're pretty strong for the time being. I'll be back once I figure out a target to do, or if an interesting event pops up. After I welcome this gent into court. Thank you for the gold, my friend, and the splendor, and good old prestige. Although I will hold court real quick before I do a cut. Sitting on my throne, I adjusted for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne, while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turn towards mine expectantly. In front of me, I count 3 practitioners lined up in an orderly row, waiting for me to call on them. Gesture for the first in line to approach. Count Tolk, Ingval, and Girla? See, you are Norwegian, so to all my Norwegian listeners out there, how would you pronounce this name, especially the Y? Like, how would you go about pronouncing that? A peasant woman stands before me, informing the court of her plea. The recent war took a toll on the countryside, and we're not sure who the culprit was, but they lured an important cultural site to us Norwegians from Hjorda. Please, we beseech you, spare some of your resources so that we can restore it. The peasant ends her request with a clumsy bow, a clear indicator of her lower bone status. So this is just the county that I just took, which is Norwegian. We'll probably be switching into Danish at some point. I mean, not Danish, Swedish. But so we could give 55 gold, get some cultural acceptance, or gets a reduced building cost for 10 years. And I could just send her away and get... I feel like the building cost is much, much better, especially for the short time. Use the remaining materials for other buildings. Count Tolk, who is the guy I'm trying to sway, he stands before me, his face grave with concern. My lord, the threat of Denmark weighs heavy on my mind. Me too, my friend. King Sveden looms across the border. He points. Only days from the gates of Warnamo, House of Vendering's house. You must help fortify my lands. Vendor soldiers and fortifications are all that stand between Sweden and ruin. You speak true. Venderer must be fortified. I lose 55 gold. I get a weak hook, which I could use to convert. Gain frontier ramparts for 15 years and opinion. I'm going to do that. That is too valuable to pass up. And I'll wait just a little bit. I'll wait until I get into the positive first before I use that hook. And now you, my caravan master and claimed knight. My knight, Ingvald, stands before me, a hopeful expression on his face. My lord, I can't help but notice that in recent times, the realm's finances have not been the healthiest. Trying to fix that. Of course, you have been administering them eagerly, but perhaps you might find some use for some extra gold. I'm willing to buy a minor settlement off your hands in exchange for a generous sum of gold. Would it be acceptable? Bavarian of Hildrick, which hasn't been created yet. That could be good. Gain 250 gold and makes a castle. Who's prestige, but he still pays gold. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. He's no longer my caravan master, but he's still my knight, and business is done. But yep, still my acclaimed knight and vassal. That is very much worth it. I can now sponsor inspiration. He wants to forge goblets. 113 gold. We'll hold off on that. So with that done, I can get another regiment of men of arms. And I think another unit of Bondi would be good. I mean, Vigman. Perhaps even Bondi would be good. Although, moving up into Sapni. We're looking at taiga. A lot of taiga and some hills. Which would be better for the Huskars and Varangian Adventurers. Because you would also have some plain... Actually, mostly taiga. So Huskars would be better in the long run. I already have some Meganels. What about some Bondi? They really wouldn't be that useful. Pikemen, though, they're always useful, especially in the hills. Bondi's also good against archers. You know what? I will get a single unit of Bondi. And can I upgrade my main building at all? Walls and towers could be good. Cattle pastures could also be good. Hunting grounds are always useful. Stables? What is stables? Station light. We really don't have light cavalry, so that wouldn't be good. Blacksmiths, though. Reduced cost for holding grand tournament. Dual contest and this holding minus 50%. Station man arms damage plus 10. Holding tax plus 4. Levy reinforcement plus 10. And we're building a blacksmith. We already have farms and fields and trade port, which will both be good. Another reason why I want to get this county so I can retool it to be much, much better. But we're slowly but surely working on it. And then I'm also slowly but surely getting this holding as my own because I need it. But I'll be back when we're either going to do another war or an interesting event pops up. But first I'm going to convert you. There we go. Good, good. And now with that out of the way, I will be right back. And I have a daughter. Praise St. Bridget. Bonna has given birth to a perfect little daughter who will become my child. And what shall I call her? Astrid is a good name for you. And she is intelligent. And with that, can I get a good matrilineal marriage to the King of Hungary? That is very useful. I think I would rather get the King of Poland, though. They are much closer. Although Poland does have that weird elective law. What about the King of Denmark? I can actually align myself with the King of Denmark. That is perfect. Oh, I haven't even taken a look at the culture. So we have strong believers, souls is more common, humble is more common, and counting conversion resistance plus 30. Alright. Rune Razors, also good. We have Coastal Warriors, which I do absolutely love. And the Tang Meats. If I can... Let's see. What is the one that I absolutely love? Dexterous Fisherman might be something that I do end up getting. But Industrious would also be very good. Performative Honor. That is something that I do plan to gain. So, yeah, because Shield Maidens, Craven trait drains monthly prestige. Traits such as Wicked Delicate are looked down upon, which is something I do plan to get. But Shield Maidens would just bolster the Night Pool. And we like that here. Refined Poultry. Right to prove. That's essentially the same thing as Performative Honor. But instead of gaining a number of knights and Acolyte Glory plus 10%, I lose 2 knights but gain 9 effectiveness. And I do love 9 effectiveness. We're already at 200. That is... Do I really want to play into it? I'll have to think about it. Or if you all have any suggestions of just good culture groups to kind of help expand military and economically, leave it down the description. I would love to see what you all tend to lean towards. But as for war, this war has been going on for a very long time. We will eventually have to get into a conflict with Norway, but I think I will go just further up towards the Baltic. So we're going to attack Cheatus, you for your county. Should be a very quick and easy war. And before we do that, we'll get organized marches. And I think pretty soon I will switch over to the lifestyle path, or intrigue even. But this should be a very quick and very easy war. Yep. Castilian culture. Oh, my knight and caravan master. A commoner of Castilian heritage has been accosted in the streets of Sordamunland over some minor offense. By making this statement in their defense, I could perhaps convince my knights, Guillermino, the equally Castilian of my good character, but I might risk alienating my Swedish peers. So it's a 40% and not just a straight prestige loss? I like that. Oh. Keep looking for it. But let's also get you married, Galimo. Here, to this Scottish lady. I think you two will make a perfect couple. I could challenge you to a duel? I'm not gonna lie, I want to do that. That looks very fun. Oh yeah, I need to feudalize Engelmanland. Restore the allocates decision? The martial dignities of my retinue lie dormant. Spread word to the knights of the land the King of Sweden calls. Worthy seconds for my time honored stations of honor shall find themselves warmly welcomed. Eligible candidates for every inactive allocate will appear within the next year. You know what? We'll do that. And I'm not going to pardon you. I want to try and imprison you. But at the same time, I could. Alright, you know what? We're going to do it. When did I get Angerman on this one of my territories? It must have been in the last war, but this is a risk. Prince Eric is known for his rebellion against what he sees as the idolatrous ways of his countrymen and their false theology. Let's go. While I'm fighting this war, I'm also fighting Eric. For a few brief moments, Prince Eric and I pace in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. I heft my sword ready to defend myself, while he clutches his hammer firmly to his hand. This fight may only be till first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Spotting an opportunity, Eric lunges forward and headbutts me hard in the face. I reel backwards, wrong-footed. How about some dirt in your eyes, huh? Yeah, let your guard down eventually, coward. Or, with this much room to move, you're dead meat. You're dead meat, Eric. I do like that sword. But I do have 10 prowess on him. In fact, I could probably get more if I switch to... Call it cheap, call it what you will, but if it gets me the win, it gets me the win. If all the space in the world to fight, I run lungedly circles around Eric, giving worthless ground with every blow he makes and retreating effortlessly out my every attack. Well aware that he is utterly outmatched, Eric hurls himself at me bodily, forcing me backwards with all the desperation of the doomed. My form is good with only small errors. Eric's stance is passable. I have yet to open my opponent's guard at all and see no way to yet claim victory. I'll show you how I heft a sword. My sword flows around Eric like water, each strike changing fluidly into the next. A series of perfectly timed attacks, Eric tries hissingly to launch a quick slash at me, but the blow is easily swatted away. My form is excellent with little chance for mistake, and Eric's stance is falling. I have yet to open him up, but I see a way to claim victory. With this much room to move, you're dead meat, Eric. With all the space in the world, strike, parry, and riposte. My sword arm moves as fast as lightning, and strikes as hard as the sundered stone. Blow by blow, I beat my opponent into bloody, conscious submission, hammering him into the ground with all the fury St. George can lend me. When all that's left is quivering pile of bleeding man, I wonder if I've gone too far. There coughs hard enough to lose his grip on his full hammer, and I allowed myself a little sigh of relief. With the worry over, I kicked my foe's weapon away and lay my own against his throat. It takes a few tries, ere it gets the yield I'll eventually. I am victorious. I may be a familiar kinslayer, but I did what had to be done. I'll just go ahead and ransom you, and that's that war done. And I will give this territory to a Swedish noble. "7 years, war about development of my lands." You know what? We're just going to start selling our own people. Alright, just promoting culture, not selling our own people. That is Elder Kings too. To make my knight Guillermo more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him, I can include a compliment in my next missive to his court. I will be sure to mention his... Let's see, he is a very diplomatic sort. His empathy and kind heart, his youthful vigor, his unmatched people skills. Oh boy. And my wife is pregnant again. Please be a genius son. I can ransom you now. Sweet. Knight of the North Star? Is that Guillermo? That's Guillermo. I wish I could just choose a successor outright. I could do a grand tour. I don't have the money for a grand tour. Yay. I can raise a runestone though, which I will actually do that. Every runestone tells a message of some sort, significant event in the life of the commissioner. From the smallest peasant to a king like myself, the stone records all. What shall this moment speak of? My vanquished foe. Now that I've decided what to put on my runestone, the question remains where to place it. Memorials to victories such as my triumph over Ukshakagat are a constant reminder of a war's glorious end. The best place in areas that require encouragement to cooperate. Of course, one or two spots do spring to mind. Angermanland, which is still a little bit angry at me. Yeah, I do need to feudalize them. Hjalder, which is up here, or Sulemanland, which is my own count, which I really don't need to, so I'll put it in Engelmanland. And now I will also increase crown authority. That will have a lot of my vassals be a little bit angry, but I am working on it. But with that, now probably just wait until my wife is giving birth to hopefully a worthy son. Or wait until probably the next war. I will be swaying you to like me. Lines about legacy. The ways work my vassal Count Gudruld has become all the rage at court of late. The pieces deals with memory and what we have left behind, and Gudruld has publicly dedicated to me time of legacy. While a man does not hope to rest when tired, and glorious memory with his heart's desire, 'tis rare enough for men to admit that given chance, they are changed quite a bit. So far, I have kept my thoughts myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. Gudrud, I can see this is truly heartfelt. And it is. Thank you. Dangerous Heights. Duke Edmund's time has come. All things fall eventually. Kingdoms, lords, children pushed from high places. My agent will tie a rope around little Duke Edmund's favorite toy, a wooden warrior, and hang it from a high wall. He is sure to come looking for it. As he reaches down to untie the rope, it will be so easy for him to slip. A tragedy. Truly. Duke Edmund is dead. They found his mangled corpse on the ground, clutching to his chest. His young face was permanently twisted into an expression of surprise and terror. At least everyone thinks he fell by accident. I had to do it. I had to do this. And now if we look at the succession, it is my mother, who is of aging health. And then me, which I will be getting Uppsala. And my brother would be getting that. Which I can always just remove it at some point. And then as soon as you're my direct vassal, I can just take that for myself. I had to do it. And you're trying to put my brother, an heir, on the throne. Yeah, she don't like me. She don't like me at all. Are you kidding me? My son. I'm cursed. I'm legitimately cursed at this point. My mother can't join the faction if she is part of an alliance with me. But I'm legitimately cursed at this point. We see a colony's doing good, but we'll do a little bit more warring and then hopefully get some stuff together. So let's take you out this time. My wife is pregnant again. Beautiful. Wonderful. I'll just station besiegers so that way I can go deal with these guys. the visit. Oh, a game manipulation hook. Nice. Don't know how I'm ready to go use it, but it's good to have. I passed through Gotland to capture my vassal Grand Mayor Bastion when I received an invitation to visit his house. As I arrived, he welcomed me with a frown and a tour. One thing, excuse me, that strikes me is that the place is filled of unfinished projects. I'll stay for a while. A library where the books are stacked in corners, unfinished building projects all over the place, most notably a whole dining hall, and a chest of gold standing in the middle of the hallway. I think I can help with the dining hall, especially if I put my wife on the main focus. All I needed was some dedicated attention. I soon have Mayor Boston's dining hall well on its way to completion. Things are looking good, and there are still some areas I can help out with. Looks are 50-50. You know what? It's just time for bed. I was glad I was able to help. I spot Grand Mayor Bastien by the entrance, wanting to see me off in the morning. As I walk up, I hear him muttering to himself, "You ready to fix the place up?" "Yeah." After a quick bye, I am soon on the road back home again. As glad as can help. I was... Tax hunt! What? Yeah, I'll join the hunt. Okay, this is new. Travel destination, Uland. Canberra Master. Travel options. I could go in style. That's nice. Let's see. We're going all the way here. There is a likelihood of danger due to lack of control, which I am trying to fix up, so... Higher Expanse Captain. About Mercenary Guard? So this is very new to see. Well, I'll just hire a Mercenary Guard. And I will customize the route. So we'll start in Sudermanland. We're going to Ulsterland. So if I actually were to do that, then can I customize the route? You know what? We'll just go with the Mercenary Guards and do that. So I have 6 people in my entourage, and alright, let's join Count Tyke's hunt. Oh, that's so cool! I like that. So let's get you all back over there and let's view the travel. A fresh start. Alright, my steward Count Tyke is hosting a hunt in Oland, and time has come for us to depart. I should be able to proudly represent the House of Stenkil. Hunting with birds is a most noble pursuit, one I am sure to excel at. I can't wait. Next destination, 33 days. But that's cool! I like that! I love that little feature! That's so cool! Local hero. As we traverse the woodlands, trudging through the mud, we encounter a modest wayward shrine, natively carved its spots across as its head. And below, the weather words. Here lies Saint Elfhid of Smallland, blessed daughter, a sea of it. Saint Elfhid of Smallland, It seems a local spiritual figure is being patronized in these parts. One not sanctified by the Catholic Church. Cast down this heterodoxy. Saint Alfred. There's a nice ring. I would lose money, but I'll gain popular opinion and holding tax. Or we better be going. And now we're on the hunt. Making what? As we await the arrival of the rest of the guests, Count Tyke has started on the preparations. His gamekeeper checked the grasslands each day for signs of quarry, while building the camp closer to the hunting grounds. My bird grows restless, waiting, knowing it would soon be unleashed. Soon. So let's look at the guest list. Oh, that is so cool. Soon. I'm sorry, what was that? By the wing. Okay, first we have a little faction against me that is not a problem, it just needs to get opinion up, but this. Mayor Torko assembles the party as the sun rises over the camp in the plains near Oland. With any luck, we'll find a husk of hares. A husk of hares, and our falcons will have great sport. The beers teams are ready with our hounds, and a well-appointed spot is selected. Let's get out there. So, I'm a hunter. We have Count Tyke. We have Master of the Hunt, Stradbjorg, Mayor, Kolbjorn, and Sven. What? I'm gonna try to befriend, the mayor. This is so cool. There's a little bird model. Count Tok, Bavarian has been the star of the hunt thus far. His falcon's talons forever dripping red with fresh blood. So much so that his glove seems to be stained a permanent crimson. I can't help but probe what has he done to train such an obedient and masterful hunting bird. And he just laughs. I wish I could tell you it was my good training, but speaking truthfully, my glove is blessed by God. I'd be willing to give it up for the right price. I don't need luck. Stress gain minus 4%, attraction plus 4, monthly lives. That's hard to pass up though. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll go into the Dead Fort. That is very hard to pass up. Gain some prestige. Oh, no event. Count Tyke's Game Master signaled the party to hush. We have arrived at the release spot. From our vantage point, we can see several sandy hares in the grassland up ahead. The party halts as we prepare to move our bird's hood and set them one by one to their spot. It is time. I'm sorry, what? My mother's taxes are raised, but she probably won't be in charge for much longer. You fool? I watch excitedly as my falcon identifies a target and takes wing from its watch, soaring high into the air. The hares are none the wiser as my falcon scans the ground from high above. Time and again my falcon swoops in for a kill, but misses, retreats, or engrazes as targets. After hours of attempts, the game have all but disappeared. The Falcon is near exhaustion, and the light is fading. A shame. Heeding the call of the wild is an adventure, and this outing delivered the good and the bad in abundance. I am no closer to gaining the confidence of Bastian, but I must be doing something wrong. Sven gathers a disappointed party and exhausted hounds for the trip home. The hare is indeed eluded us this time. I lose stress, I gain some prestige, I gain the trait hunter, and I fail to bond with Grandmere Boston. But Count Tyke loses stress, he gains 3 traits in Falconeer, and gains 100 prestige, and everyone participating gains 90 prestige. Let's head home. I love this. This is... Now let's finish this war. Of travels to come. Journeying through Sweden, I passed by a peculiar-looking tent, splayed open with its yet more peculiar-looking occupants. Come in, O mighty king. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. The strange man has pecked the entrance of my entourage, but I'm unwilling to pay for a reading. He's a giant witch. I'm not interested. But before I forget, let's put on those gloves. And I have arrived home. At long last, I'm finally home. There's nothing better than arriving back in Södermanland after a long journey. I look forward to resting for some time, but the call of the road beckons ever onward. My caravan master Guillermo reports that we have journeyed for 115 days and traversed 13 baronies. Thank God I can go inside again. That was really fun. I like that. And I will ransom you in a moment to get some more money. Because hopefully after this battle, I can get even more. And I have another daughter who is barren. Oof. Well, that is the war done. And I will be giving that to a man of Swedish culture as well. But after our first successful hunts, we'll get some money back and try to fix the domain situation. What is county control looking like? Not horrible. I can fix it, definitely. Let's try and ransom some of these people. You will not accept, so I will just have you convert and gain a hook. I'll have you convert and gain a hook. Oh, just convert. You convert. You're just a single penny, but I will take that. You're not horrible, but convert. What's going on here? War against tyranny. Against my mother. Who is... It might be a while until I get this, but I am in line to get it. So, that is very, very good. Corvette. Value of letters. I can feel the judging stares of all my courtiers on me while I slowly, carefully sign my name on a new decree with a trembling pen and uncertain hand. Of course, singing is a strong word. Signing is a strong word. I'm merely retracing letters carved in a wood tablet and barely succeeding at it. Today, even my Prince Bishop Adavad is looking at me with what I guess is a mix of pity and disgust. Before I can reprimand him for disrespecting me, he interjects with a hopeful tone. My lord, perhaps it is time for you to learn to read and write properly. Teach me right now. Yeah, teach me right now. I'll let a day tick by. Oh, actually, I'll let a month tick by. Court grandeur is at level 4. Nice, nice, nice. And with that, this video is coming to a close. But before I leave you, a little bit of a historical fact. Today, we are talking about the Kalmar Union, which was formed in June 1397 and lasted until June of 1523, give or take a few years. And the Kalmar Union was a union between the kingdoms of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, under the single crown of Margaret I of Denmark and Norway, who was married to Harkin of Norway. The Kalmar Union was given a name due to the crowning of her grandson, Eric of Pomerania. And the union was formed as a direct comparator to what was called the Hanseatic League, a collection of North German towns that were dominating Northern Europe in trade, especially in the Baltic area. So, which would be pretty much from Pomerania all the way up to Kititalia. Just the whole Baltic Sea. Like, this whole area right here was dominated by the Hanseatic League. And the Kalmar Union's main goal was to be a counterweight to the Hansa's influence in the Baltic area. However, under the Kalmar Union, there was a lot of favoritism towards the Danish side of things. Given that the original founder was Danish, there would be a favorite or more leaning towards them. And this was seen as a very bad thing for the Union in the long run. Because unlike other collections where, say, the Holy Roman Empire, some of these people still had their own direct laws that they could follow while just adhering to the king's, the emperor's decree. The Kalmar Union was 3 kingdoms under a singular crown. So there was no say of Norway having its own laws and Sweden having its own laws. They all had to follow the laws of the head of the union, which was mostly a Danish person. And discontent came to a head in 1448 after the death of Christopher of Bavaria. And from 1448 to 1481, we saw the rise of Karl Knutson Bondy, who was king of Sweden from 1448 to 1470 off and on again, and Christian of Oldenburg, king of Denmark and Norway from 1448 to 1481. During this time, Sweden would have multiple rebellions that saw Karl being put off and back on the throne of Sweden. And after Christian, the king of Denmark and Norway, fought a battle at Brückenberg in 1457, he was defeated by a Stenster the Elder. And this would see Sweden being ruled by a series of protectors of the realm. That is, until Gustav Vasa leads a rebellion in 1520. Unlike every other previous rebellion, this would prove successful, for Gustav Vasa would be crowned King of Sweden in 1523, just 3 years later. And if that name sounds very familiar to you, Gustav Adolphus, Lion of the North. So the Kalmar Union originally founded as a counterweight to the Hanseatic League, which was led by Ludbeck. For the most part, I think they were led by Ludbeck. This first prelude to a united Scandinavia under a single crown, uniting the Nordic countries to become a dominant power here, ultimately failed because of a lot of favoritisms and failure to see the weight of the other cultures. Like, during this time, Sweden and Norway, they had to follow whatever laws the head of the union made at that time. Like, they couldn't have their own local laws. They had to follow the union itself. And it was because of that favoritism that we saw Sweden breaking away from the union and then eventually forming their own empire, which for a time would rival Prussia. You know, that Prussia, the one that would go on to unite all of Germany. So for a very short time in the history of our world, the Nordic countries were united, but it ultimately failed. And then we have Sweden become their own empire. And Norway, a little fact about them, they would often go between the Danish crown and the Swedish crown. Like, after the union collapsed, you would have Denmark being having full control over Norway, to the point where it was just a province of Denmark. And then as Sweden would gain more and more power, they would eventually have a personal union with Norway, uniting the two crowns. And to this day, Norway and Sweden have a very good relationship. And it would take some time, but Denmark would eventually water under the bridge with Sweden. That is until Scandinavian became Swedish territory. But with that little history fact out of the way, I've been Type 1 Dragon. You've all been awesome. Until next time, stay safe out there. Ohadua.